56,000 plus will pack the house Sunday at UFC 243. Yes, there are more than 10 fights on the card, but the names atop the marquee, Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, the 10th ever UFC title unification bout. One half of that main event joins Chael and I now, Robert Whittaker. Rob, it's been a while since we've seen you, man. How have you been?
Yeah, very good. Thanks so much for having me. The whole distancing makes it hard.
Is it annoying to have an interim champion, by the way? And I don't just mean Adesanya. Is it annoying for you to have done the hard work, to have a world championship, and then somebody else gets a belt that looks like yours?
You know, it doesn't really bother me. I think it serves a purpose. Like, obviously, I was sick, and they had to fill the spaces. But yeah, you know, I'm happy for the unification fight. It doesn't bother me at all.
You mentioned the sickness, what happened last time, day of the fight. You had a medical emergency.
Yeah.
Here we are 3 days out. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. You know, and I can look back at that last week and honestly say, oh, this is the best I've ever been.
So, Rob, you are about to have the live gate record. Nobody in MMA history will have fought in front of more people than you. Now, a lot has been made of that. People are saying you're going to have pressure on you. I followed your career very closely. I got familiar with you on The Ultimate Fighter, where you had to fight in front of 20 people, which in many ways is weirder. Fighting in front of 20 people is almost weirder than fighting in front of 40,000. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%. It's more intimate.
For sure.
Yeah.
But do you feel you can hear everything? It's more awkward. I mean, I would think you would almost, I'm guessing, wouldn't you be more at ease in front of a screaming chaos crowd than where you could hear a pin drop on the set of The Ultimate Fighter?
100%. You know, and in this arena in particular, it's so big, and so the acoustics don't just hound you and smash you like a lot of other smaller arenas that I've fought in. So I'm very excited to fight here in front of this crowd.
You started your UFC career at welterweight. You told me back then maybe it was the Polynesian blood, maybe just being a thick-set guy. That was a tough weight cut for you. Obviously, middleweight was the right choice. You're 8-0 at 185 pounds. At what point did you realize that you're a problem at middleweight in this career trajectory, that you had world championship potential?
Honestly, it wasn't until I had started climbing the ranks, until I was about number 6, I didn't realize that I could go the whole way. I can take the crown. And you know, it was a lot due to one of my high performance coaches, Whittaker, who I spoke to a lot, and you know, he really opened my eyes.
All right, so let's talk about this fight, the X's and O's. You and Adesanya. I take you guys at your word. I've heard all your interviews. I've heard all of his interviews. I'm almost at the height of my anticipation as a fan, looking forward to this contest. But you guys aren't talking about taking each other down. You're not talking about using those Craig Jones heel hooks. You're talking about knocking him out, and he's talking about knocking you out. Do we have a stand-up fight on our hands?
You know, that's where I'm comfortable. If he wants to make this a stand-up fight, I'm happy to do so.
Do you prefer facing a guy who has that stand-up pedigree, or would you prefer someone who you know you have the distinct advantage in stand-up, maybe a guy who's more of a grappling base?
You know, both have the pros and cons. You know, when I fight another guy who's primarily stand-up, I can focus on the stand-up, whereas if I like fighting a guy like Yoel Romero, you always have to be aware of the takedown. The threat's always there.
So he appears to be trying to get under your skin. I think he's just trying to have fun. I think that's how he has his fun. You are completely blowing it off because you're a real gentleman, being yourself as well. Is he under your skin? I mean, has this guy managed to irritate you?
Not at all. Not at all. It's I find it, you know, honestly, I find a lot of what he says funny.
Sure.
You know, it's not getting under my skin because I remove myself from that element of the game. I just don't engage. I don't play it. So it has no effect on me. Honestly, a lot of the things he says, I don't find out until someone else tells me about it.
Right.
When you're training and preparing for this fight, how do you mimic a style like his in the training room to get you ready for this event?
You can't. You can't. He's got a unique style that's unique to him, and I just have to try and manipulate my training in any way possible to just work my strengths instead of trying to prepare against his.
Okay, so let's say there needs to be a plan B. We've established it's largely going to be a stand-up fight. All fights start standing up, so we got. But let's say it doesn't go well. Do you have a plan B to clinch him, to take him down, to start to use some of the ground positions?
100%. I've been working my ground game extensively throughout my career. It's just I've just never needed to use it. If I see a takedown in this fight, I'm going to take it there. I'm going to go into this octagon, and I'm just going to take the fight wherever I want it.
Robert Whittaker, the main event, UFC 243 in front of 56,000 plus here at Marvel Stadium. Rob, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming and special content, subscribe to ESPN+.